not, y'all. 2023. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics scheming, not trying to find the meaning of life. Why the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like it or not starts now.
Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth. All right, Ben. Okay, first of all, Bubba's not here. Let me handle some how you say house rules. Yeah, X3C's not here right now. First of all, happy 2024. I know that we said we're gonna. I know that in my bit of our promo for our teaser, I said everybody's gonna be here, even though it's my show. Everybody's gonna be here. But but Ben came. So look, Ben wasn't even in it. And Ben is the one here. And Bubba's behind, ain't here. But that's all right. That's all right. He had some family matters to attend to. Everything's okay. Checked with him. He said everything's okay. So y'all just send him some love. And other than that, happy 2024. This is our premiere episode for the year 2024. So all things good. Now that we've gotten that out the way, because we'll bring it back. I just want to know, Ben, first of all, I see that salt and pepper beard coming in. I see it. I see it. I do. Okay. It's nice. I see it. Now, beyond that, what is up with the scarf? What is up with the hat, the scarf? What's going on? You're up north. Oh, no, I'm all about stories. Hey, just like you said, Rebecca always has a story to tell, but Ben, it's your turn. It's 2024. The tables have turned. Tell us the story. Absolutely. Hey, Jada, how are you? Absolutely. Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. And there's go ahead. No, 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 you're talking about specific type, and that's what you're the type that you're talking about is I know exactly what you're saying. We know what they look like, we know who they are, we know, they're in so many different places, but what does the outfit what is it while you're because I know you. Once you get to your mind to exposing, create going into an expose, baby, all of the above, it's happening. So is the outfit giving the mad scientists, but ooh. To 21 to 2024 coming in hard right here on Like It or Not. Okay. And yes, go ahead, man. Continue. No, this is your moment. This is your time. Flesh it out because if you're hearing, mhm. No, no, we need that. We need a little bit. Mhm. Oh no, we're gonna have conversations today. No, so okay, Ben, it's good that you mentioned that they are so dumb because on Thursday, we were discussing and I forget his name, Fetterman or yeah, Fetterman. And I was like, guys, because they're like, why is he doing this? Why is he comparing, or telling South Africa to sit this one out? Those kind of things. And I'm like, why are y'all shocked at this? Because this is just a part of the stupidity that is a lot of grifters, right wingers, fascists, conservatives, whatever people who want to stick on a certain point. And it pays to do those things. But not only that, there is no education there. It's dumb, dull, void, null, void. It's just a space. It's just a black hole, and they allow these people to be the experts on these matters, and that's where I have it. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Mm. So, you know what's so crazy? Why is it such a big deal for anybody who, and mind you, Guys, we just I want to say some folks were celebrating the anniversary of January 6th. Um and we know that around the time when people January 6th, those people, the domestic terrorists who done did what they did. But that was around the time people were rushing up to the Capitol saying that Trump won the election and Biden stole it. And people were saying that anti vaxxers, this and that, and they were punching nurses in the face. This was that time. This was all of that time. They were going up there talking about Black Lives Matter did this, the vaccination folks. They're the ones that are at fault for us going to the Capitol because we needed to make sure that we remain safe and safe outside of that vaccine. What are we? What are we? Where were we in this time, Ben? People were getting shot in their body parts with rubber bullets while there was nothing happening to these folks that serious that went, domestic terrorists that went up to the Capitol. Like, let's talk about this. But there are people. These are the Fetterman crew. This is the Fox News crew. This is all of them. This is, and they want us to mourn the person. They want us to mourn the person that died. But I was saying on Thursday, but I did mention you on Thursday. I said they said they want us to mourn the person that died. I said Ben was like, and when the lady, you were like, sorry. Not you calling her by name on this show. Hmm. My thing is, what was Ashley Babbitt fighting for? What was Ashley Babbitt fighting for? Because though Ashley Babbitt was a part of the crew that took away emergency buttons from underneath our representatives' desks. They left poop on their desk. They left blood stains. They took actual documents, the nation's documents. And they were fighting for what at this time? Meanwhile, we were outside of there fighting for our lives to matter simultaneously, fighting for us to figure out what was happening with COVID and to keep our families safe, fighting to make sure that we can go to the grocery store and make it out alive. Mhm, mhm. Oh, yep. Mhm. Yeah. And but no, I know what you mean. We have some look, we have some great white people. That's like, yeah, I have black friends. I mean, they're great white people, but the ones that are not forcing us for the ones that are not trying to force us to give them a pass to be who they are, but ones that are educating themselves. There's too much information out there for you not to, and there is actual a human aspect of this that you're I don't understand why I have to teach you about that human aspect at this point. And so those moms and other people who are allies that do not have to be sat and educated to be an ally. There are the simplest things of seeing what's happening and being on the right side of it because you know that people are being mistreated or murdered, slaughtered because of what they look like. Mhm. Yo, channel, because it's my show. Not him saying at the center on my. That's so funny. It's on the record. It's on the record. Look, I'm in the house today. It's because you came with the energy. Listen, um, I know when I look back at these things, they want us to remember and mourn people from January 6th. Meanwhile, on January 12th, 2010, um, there was an earthquake in Haiti, and Hillary Clinton went over there and with the Red Cross and with all of that money that was raised, built 6 houses. That's what I mourn. The people that lost their lives and what was supposed to be a rebuilding of Haiti. I mourn that because there was abuse like we see here, America, that's how they function. And there was they took advantage of a moment. They take advantage of people who need. They take advantage of people who they see as inferior. That's just like this nation to do. What we see is people like Fetterman speaking up on behalf of Israel. And what I see is that's just the American way. For him to ask South Africa when there was apartheid over there, for them to ask South Africa to stay out of the conversation. Meanwhile, Fetterman, you come from a nation that literally says that this land is their land. And meanwhile, they do not recognize the indigenous people that they killed off. I looked at where I stay. I wanted to look because when I first came here, it gave racist vibes. If you put my city, which I won't tell you what it is, on in Wikipedia, they put indigenous people were removed, and then they go down with, and then the colonists settled here, and they did this, but all they put for the indigenous people, and this is how they are recognized in this city that I lived in, indigenous people were removed. That's it. Meanwhile, every corner you turn, an indigenous name. I don't like it. I will not stand by it. I will not mourn a person who was a part of something that literally was racist. January 6th was racist. It was against the law, like in so many ways. People got a slap on the wrist, but people who were fighting for justice, for Breonna Taylor, yes, people they went up there. This is against the law. They challenged our state representatives, our congressmen and women, all of them. They broke in to the Capitol, y'all. We have those white people that Ben is speaking of literally fund their buses. Facebook didn't take down, Facebook did not take down pages that were talking about this and the planning of it. We knew it was going to happen days before. And you would think the way that they brought out military force for when we went outside to go and protest for the life that we lost in George Floyd and in Breonna Taylor and so many more people, they brought out military forces for us. We saw 3 police officers fighting for their lives against all of these people. This is the juxtaposition that we have to keep looking at. And we have people like Fetterman and oh boy that got kicked off of Fox, that's now on X, who gets a platform to continue to spew lies. Joe Rogan and friends, all of these people, Alex Jones, every single one of them, all of them get to continue to spew out lies when they cause so much harm. Marjorie Taylor Greene. This lady sat there and said that she said that the kids that were murdered, it was a conspiracy. Hey, she's a state representative. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? We're having to fear. Go ahead, Ben. Hmm. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, you not you back on Twitter and Michael Flynn responding. Oh, oh Lord. I haven't been on, well, X.com. That's not a porn site. That's the new name for Twitter. And that's what I'ma call them. So, but no, these these white corporations, these white institutions, these white, well, everything here is basically white led. We're functioning on under, no matter what job, black folks are in positions, and it's giving that we have to focus on. We have to function in white supremacy. We have to figure out how to live in it and thrive in it. I hate that. And I'm talking about Claudine Gay. Claudine Gay was Harvard's most recent president with the shortest tenure at Harvard University. Okay. Claudine Gay was the black president. She was a black woman president with Haitian immigrant parents. And so she knows what that is. Like, here's my thing. I'm going to read the story to you guys, but before I do, when we first heard about Claudine Gay becoming the president of Harvard, it was a big deal for us, right? It was a huge deal for us, but I also feel like it was a diversity and inclusion pick. And when y'all know how I feel about that, that's basically when they choose a black person for the moment. And why not choose a black person in the moment? Because it was the hottest thing to do, right? So sick of it, because they only hired her because of that. I know their intentions were just to say. They no, she is. She's qualified. She's more than qualified to fit that position. She probably is more than qualified than anybody else that sat in that position because of legacy. These legacy hires, she actually is somebody who deserved to be in that position, right? But they only hired her because they can say Harvard can say in their history we did have a black president, and she was a woman, and her parents actually happened to be migrants from Haiti, right? So we checked all the boxes, every single one. And we made sure that her time there was very, very short. So the shortest tenure of a Harvard president is, and look, that's how they're starting the news about this woman. The shortest tenure of a Harvard president is over after Claudine Gay stepped down. Her resignation comes following a December filled with scrutiny over how she handled anti Semitism on campus and allegations of plagiarism. In a statement, Gay said, it has become clear that it is in the best interest of Harvard for me to resign so the community can navigate this moment of extraordinary challenge with a focus on the institution rather than the individual. She continued to say in her statement that she thought it was the right thing for the university to move forward, and she is probably right. That's what the Harvard student said. Now, she also said that she thinks that this is the best, and I'm paraphrasing here because it's not in this particular article, but it's the best for her to just get out because she felt like they were pushing her to get out in her statement. Um, so they were putting out, she said what they're saying about her is untrue. And they were saying that she it plagiarized. The students there were saying that there was an uptick in anti-Semitism with her being the president. So let's be honest here. They were going to search for any and everything for her to get out of that seat. Go ahead. Let's talk about it. Mhm. Mm, mhm, mm. Yeah. So we got to be clear because they're using the word plagiarism. And for all of the dumb folks that follow the dumb white folks that lead, then they're going to see that word and they are going to literally be like, she wasn't a fit person. And they're not going to look, they're not going to go do their research. They're not going to, because that's why she's the pick. I'm telling you, Ben, if it wasn't historically, it wouldn't have been this, and she would not have been the shortest person, had the shortest tenure in the history of this school. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sick of it. And she resigned because they pushed her to do it. They bullied her to do it. They literally said we will continue to. And those leaders who are in place as well around her, I know they made sure to never make her feel like it was home. Come on now. So in this statement here, keep that up on screen. They say while Miss Gay's work does contain some verbatim phrases used by Mr. Bobo and Mr. Gilliam and Mr. Rufo, Mr. Gilliam that Mr. Rufo argued should have been in quotation mark. Y'all, listen to me. Argued should have been in quotation marks. She does cite them by name in her thesis. You guys, listen to me again. This is the problem because she used their words verbatim and did not put quotation marks. Amen. So my problem is, but oh, yes, Ben, it's a small problem. They made it seem like she if she attributed them in it, if she made sure she cited them, if she made sure she showed like as reference where she got it from, understandably so. As a grammar issue, yes, but to say that it's plagiarism, I no, like, yeah, they wanted to put that out first, though. It was intentional. It was intentional to do it as because they had nothing on her. Mhm. Then they had to reach down in the depths of Cat Williams' internet and go check out what the problem was with this woman, and they said, "Ooh, oh, yes, we do." They said anti-Semitism. Students, can you agree that she ain't mentioned nothing about it? Israel? Okay. Okay, she ain't mentioned nothing about okay, because she didn't mention about what was happening on campus, there was an uptick because she didn't call it out by name. That's what they were saying. Mhm. No, and that's understandably so, Ben. Here's the thing. I said this on this on Thursday. I don't have to agree with a lot of people's politics. Um, I love my pastor. Sometimes I go to church and be like, "This ain't the one today, Pass. This ain't it." No, I don't. It's a black church, and sometimes my black pastor don't get it right, and that's okay. He ain't always gonna get it right all the time. Sometimes I don't like the way praise and worship do their thing. Sometimes I think it's too theatrical. It's too many things happening at one damn time. I do. I do. But I know that here is so much better than where I was over there at the white church. I know that my heart is getting something. So when I said we're not going to always agree with our leaders or whatever in total, but Claudine Gay was a diversity, and they used her, and they're trying to damage her. They bullied her. America does what it does. Harvard is a we know it as one of the institutions, America's institutions. It's so hard to get into. Legacy kids just breathe and they're in the school. Everybody else has to work 17,000 jobs. There was a point in time that school did not let no black people in there. And now it's, oh my goodness, a black, right? That's what it is. So for them to have hired her and made sure that her time there was small, and for the things that they chose to, I can tell you that previous presidents have probably crossed the line in so many ways and probably financially stole money from the schools. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if you look into it, there's something there. But for Claudine Gay, right. So I'm saying, but to pull nothing and make sure they made her resign, they pushed her to the core. Mhm. Uh-huh. No, they definitely are. Let me tell you something. I hold on. Give me one moment because you mentioned something that made me go pull up a story. It's also a trending story. Ben, you're saying that they're going after black women specifically. How about let's talk about right in the HBCUs? I never knew. I never knew. Yeah. But I never knew that in today's today that there was an HBCU that actually had a white president. Lincoln University. Lincoln University in Missouri. I didn't know that. And I don't know all the names of the HBCUs because mine is at the top, Florida A&M University. And of course, and yes, and of course we mentioned the Wildcats, of course, at BC. C, now BCU, Bethune Cookman. But honestly, to take a serious note, Ben, we're talking about how white people are driving out black people, and especially black women are getting hit hard when it comes to these spaces and things. But the president of Lincoln University in Missouri was placed on a paid leave on Friday after students and alumni called for his outs following a senior administrator's death by suicide this week. President John Mosely, which I did not know. I didn't know how. I would love to go look further into it, but this news just came to me. I don't know how this white man got there. I don't know if he paid his way there. I do know that our HBCUs, just to keep them from shutting down, had to be purchased by white people, or they threatened to shut us down. So some of these HBCU are owned and operated by white people, unfortunately, just to keep it up. Okay, so President John Mosely is his name. He volunteered to be placed on a leave while a third party reviews personnel issues and concerns about mental health for who the now deceased by suicide, Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey. She died by suicide, and that was on Monday. And the board said that they are committed to make certain the mental health of Lincoln University employees is a priority. So they gave out their statement, but a lot of the students were the ones that were calling for an investigation to happen because she wrote a letter and she said if because he mocked her, bullied her, pushed her when she talked about her mental health, and he made her feel small, and she tried to present things, and she was talking about stress, she was talking about all the stuff. She said this, she said, you are one of the reasons why I just felt like I can't even continue with doing my duty here at this HBCU. She was the vice president of student affairs, and she was only 49 years old. They said that she had been terminated. Mhm, but I want you to see who Antoinette Bonnie Candia. Mhm. Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey. Um, she was 49, and she was terminated by the president, the white man, on Mosley on January 3rd. The school did not respond to the request to comment about why she was terminated. And mind you, she's been at that school for a while, and they didn't say anything. I think that was disrespectful in its own because they were protecting, of course, they were protecting the president and the reputation of the school. But this is a woman who died, and she said it was because of the president of the school. They said that her relationship, that her parents were saying to the news that her relationship with the president was just deteriorating, and it got really bad last month. But she never gave any specifics, right? And Bailey said her husband, the woman's husband, the now deceased woman's husband. They said that she was depressed and did not feel supported in her role at the university. There are a lot of details that haven't been confirmed, so I don't want to necessarily say them. But basically, she just kept going to him with different things where she felt like the school can push the school for the students and get it. He was shooting everything down. He was not adhering to when she said there was a mental health issue with her, and she said some bullying. So there were emails that have came out since then as well that she was sending to him. And so my thing is, why do we have somebody who doesn't understand the value of blackness at a black school as the president? When a black woman talks about mental health, a white man will never be able to understand it. That's how I feel. And I'm talking about, yeah, that's why I had to remove. I loved my white therapist, my white male therapist. But as a black woman and trying to explain some things, I felt like there was no way that you can understand my black problems. And what you're telling me is just kind of like a band-aid and easy fix. I'm telling you, when I transferred over to a black female therapist, oh my, the experience is totally different. So having leadership at a HBCU, and for those of you who are watching and or listening and do not know what an HBCU is, that is a historically black college and university. that we had to, all of our schools have history of us creating them because we couldn't go nowhere else and trying to keep it up because it was threatened to be torn down and purchased. Like for me at FAMU, we were threatened to be torn down and purchased by FSU. Then they wanted to take our programs because our programs were so elite. So they wanted to attach their name to some of our programs. So I don't know how this Mosely man moseyed his way on up to Lincoln University to become president. But I wouldn't think he's at. Mhm, mhm. Look, look, white people. Oh, that's a Trump supporter right now. We can't do that. We cannot do that, Benjamin P. Dixon. We can't be everybody. Listen, we can't do that. But I would say he is not. If we're looking at this picture right now, you would even think that I'm talking about an HBCU, and you would think the president is the woman when we're talking about an HBCU. But no, the white man is the president. My thing is, they would at an HBCU, of course, he's going to treat all of everybody as inferior. He looks different. This is a place that is supposed to praise black people. The people who are coming there can only be. The president can never be white at an HBCU. Call me racist if you want to, but we worked hard. We had to create that because we weren't invited to the white schools. We couldn't go there. We couldn't do a thing. Okay. So when I say that, oh, yes, we can have white professors at the schools. And we invite all of our HBCUs. We never created those schools with the intention of nobody can go here. We said we got to create these schools because black people need to be educated. And we never put something in there that said no white folks can go there. Anybody was able to go. Anybody is currently still able to go to our HBCUs. But as far as the presidency, people who are going to lead those schools and who can be able to lead the schools are not people with history of looking at black people as inferior. And by that I mean your family has history as looking at black people as inferior. You cannot head any damn HBCU. And me too. I didn't have time to go in because I just found out about the story. So I'm like, I need to know. Yeah, let's take a break because there's so much other stuff. Mhm. Okay. I love that. I love that. Hey, run that. Hey, listen, for everybody that's watching before we go to break, algorithm is algorithm right now. So on both pages, because we need the numbers up. Hey, this is I said it's 2024. We are supporting everybody and everything. We need to run the numbers up so that we can be a part of the people who are literally working in this platform because we are who are getting paid to do it. We want to be seen too for our work. So make sure you guys are running the numbers up, liking, sharing, subscribing, sharing with everybody and their friends, and even the white people who need to hear it, who know, they gonna get mad because I was like, "Where's Waldo?" I don't know why that came to me. Scarf is Waldo yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. But we're not leaving just yet. We're going to take a break. Before we take a break, I want to clarify that Mosely, the president of Lincoln University, which is an HBCU, is they're doing an investigation, but he is now on a paid administration leave. So as this investigation is underway for Miss Bailey's death by suicide, I can't wait to see what happens. But if it's exactly what they said, a part of the bullying, that man needs to go, and we need to do the right thing by that university and get it some proper leadership that looks just like us. All right, listen, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we got Katt Williams on the docket. We also got, what's his damn name? It ain't Martin Luther King Jr. We It's Jonathan Majors King Jr. and Megan Scott Coretta King. Good. I love that so much. But we'll be right back after these messages. Make sure you're tuning in. David, take us a break. Ben done did an outfit change. It was a lot happening in that 5 seconds. He was like, "Get it off." Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And you did. You made that point. We just got to run in our mouth. Because there's so much to discuss. I mean, listen, 2024 came in hot, spicy, from politics to the like just black folks' business. Okay? Listen, now on this platform, on this show, we've been covering Jonathan Majors, whom I think is so handsome. And yes, he is civil rights handsome. I kind of, somebody said it. Somebody stated it perfectly. It's almost like you are outside on a hot summer day in 1956, and Jonathan Majors is passing by with his little suspenders on, and you got on a muumuu because it's hot. So let's say we out in New Orleans, out there, it's just a hot dewy day, and he comes over and swipes that little piece of um hair that you done took from under them curls right over into your side, and he kissed you softly, and it's beautiful. You think about that on a hot day. You're reading that from a 1950s book. And he gives that vibe. And if you go down to the show that he used to be on, what the hell was it called? He gave that exact vibe because it was like in the 1950s or 60s or something. I'm trying to remember the show. But Jonathan Majors gave that. Now, Lovecraft Country. My God. I was like, dang, Jonathan. Who? Jonathan who? Majors. Okay. And so since then I've loved them. But I can't, when we talked about, now it could be, yes. They start getting controlling, right? He was, I think he was in character too. It's too hard. It's too hard. Now he done started dating a white woman. Now we went from Lovecraft Country to the Loves. I think there was a story about a interracial couple where they had to sign that into law, and I think their last name was Love. Okay. Now he done went in there. And now I'm just like, sir, So yeah, that's not the point. But the point is, here on this platform, we did cover the story originally with his the white woman that he was dating, and her going to court and winning, but watching the video, and it looks like a mutually um abusive relationship. Not saying that it was, not saying that like what he did was right. I need y'all to be clear, but it was a mutually abusive relationship. She did win. A white woman taking any black man to court. Come on, like let's be honest. It's Majors. You did yourself a definite. You did yourself a disservice by asking this woman, first of all, who is not black, to represent you as Coretta Scott King represented Martin Luther King Jr. We don't want to have to go into we don't have to go into to like details of how he had Coretta out here looking crazy too, because we're not going to do that. But what I will say is the legacy that is Coretta Scott King could never come from a white woman. Again, as Lincoln University could never have a white man leading the damn university. We must stop. We must stop. With that being said, with the audio that we heard of of him asking this white woman to be Coretta Scott King for him, and Michelle Obama, and her recording it and knowing that that would definitely, she felt threatened because she couldn't be a strong black woman. And the way that he was talking to her too was condescending. So it was problematic. Her attacking him in the car, him running down the street, and she's chasing him. It was just awful. It was an abusive relationship. It was a toxic relationship that we had to be in the forefront of. Now we understand that Megan Good, her last name is not King, but he sat there in that interview seat and said, when they asked her, so how's it been for Megan? What has she been for you? He looked over in that corner after he knew that we heard with our good black ears that he told that white woman that she needs to be like Coretta Scott King. He looked at that white interviewer lady and said, and looked over at Megan and said, she's my Coretta. Baby, I could have just he said that. And David, if you have that clip, I want people to see it because I don't think people believe me. This actually happened. Take a listen.
If Jonathan Majors just sat down for
okay, buddy, I'm sorry. That caught me off guard.
of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. Now he's receiving a lot of backlash after making comparisons to his new girlfriend and a civil rights legend. Take a listen to
it. She looked damn good.
She's held me down like a Coretta, you know.
Good day. Major says his girlfriend Megan Good has been holding him down like Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's wife. Now, this isn't the first time he's made reference to her when speaking about the type of woman he wants. Now, the daughter of the civil rights couple, Bernice King, is weighing in. She tweeted this message saying, "My mother wasn't a prop. She was a peace advocate well before she met my father." She goes on to say, "Please understand my mama was a force." Now, while Bernice did not mention Majors by name because she didn't need to, everyone knew what she was referring to. You can watch the full interview right now on the ABC.
Who is that lady? First of all, I didn't even know ABC is letting people really do their thing like this on their news channel. David, get me that journalist's name. Because first of all, she's body. And first of all, I love her news voice because it gives news and it gives powerful. Who the hell is she? Because I need to know. And we need to start maybe playing more of her clips. Oh, baby, I just came out the gym as a black woman and I'm going to wear this dress and we're going to have church because I'm about to definitely give a word on Jonathan Majors, but I'm going to give it in news style. And first of all, what is her name? I know we're talking about Jonathan Majors here, but find me her name. Yeah, play that one more time. Just the first, and I just want to watch it for her.
If Jonathan Majors just sat down for his first interview since
it's giving me, because you know you gotta lean on that right leg to give that hip the power. Yes, ma'am.
A lot of backlash after making comparisons to his new girlfriend and a civil rights legend. Take a listen to it.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, we're not listening to that again, but damn. That lady was bad. Give me her name immediately. Throw it in the comment section, something. But anyways, with that being said, because she's absolutely gorgeous. She's stunning. I like, yeah. And I love her work, whoever she is. I like how she just handled the story. But I will say, with Jonathan Majors doing that, we're talking about comparing to a civil rights leader because he wants to be. When they went into his house for the interview, yeah, he wants to be that. So that's why he's mentioning Martin Luther King because he wants to be civil rights. I told you he's civil rights fine. I think he is, and I would if I was in the street and he stopped me, I would change my accent and be in the time with him. But that is not my story to tell. When they were interviewing in his household, he had civil rights boots, and it was like 7 pairs of them lined up against the wall. Like he just came from working a long day welding, because he upgraded from picking cotton. This is the welders, the men who was working at the steel companies. This is him. And so, anywho, I don't understand why he would look over at Megan Good, and I also don't want to get into their business either. Megan Good seems happy, but now Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr. because their daughter has entered the chat, and we know Bernice enters the chat anytime she feels like her father is disrespected or her mother's disrespected. Now they're throwing around Coretta, and these new kids they hardly even know who Martin is. They don't even know him from the quote that white folks say quoting. They hardly know who he is, and now this is how she's being presented. He's being presented, and Coretta is being presented. They don't say her name enough, and I don't want her name to be thrown around in this way. Who really was Coretta? If he thinks that he wants everybody to be like her, I do. Um, but who was Coretta? Ben, go ahead and take the. Mhm. No, and we know that if we the details of what she had to endure, even just being Martin's wife. So to me, it's one of those things. She's my Coretta. She's holding it down because she held it down because she stuck it through with me, and that's why she deserves her flowers. Is because she stuck it through with me when I wasn't the best, which I understand. But you don't just tell a woman that, like, "Hey, I'm going through it, and you'll get your flowers when you get to the end of me just being this person that is putting you through it because I'm going through it." Mhm. Oh yeah. Oh, you did. Oh yeah, because you don't be on every show. So we covered that. There's an audio where he literally she recorded it and she felt threatened when he told her. And mind you, yeah, you can grab that audio for me, David. I can, I know that that voice that he gave her was condescending. I can say that. But I know that she was recording it because she was like, she knew what this would bring once she dropped it. It Man is telling me to be, sir, you're dating a white woman and you're telling her to be like Coretta Scott King and hold it down because of who you are. And you're telling him, and he also said Michelle Obama. He also said Michelle Obama to that white girl. Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. But the thing is, he said this to this woman and she recorded it. They played it in his trial. And then he turned around after losing that same trial to that white lady who said, "Who's Megan for you?" She, Coretta. He looked over there at her and said that Megan Scott King Good held it down like Coretta. He was looking over at her like he was in character. I said, now, Jonathan Majors, now I done seen you in a couple of interviews and I seen you in your natural self. And I don't know what this is, but this is acting. This is acting and scene. And I just told you how I think he's fine. Just because I think he's fine don't mean what he did was right. Okay? And he needs to go and like just hush. But what I will say is, yeah, I've watched people, but it's not fair because I've watched people who didn't need to take a break after doing very questionable things to women in the industry get millions of dollars just to show up on a TV show. What was his name? Charlie Sheen. They will triple your stuff. They will triple your check. No, I was just giving that as an example because I remember when he was going through so much drama, he wasn't losing anything. He was literally gaining stuff. The show that he was on that was popular at the time on the local television was like literally, I think he was getting paid, I don't know, just to show up, just to be there. So much money. And he's living his life off of that. There are other people that we know who excel after their troubles, or they're given an opportunity to go rehabilitate and come back to more. A lot of our Black actors, as soon as we hear anything about them that can be rehabilitated, honestly, in my opinion, they're dropped from everything. Every single thing. What's that man's name? Russell Brand? Baby, they upped him. Literally, he didn't take a hit. Not a scratch, not a dent, not nothing. Okay? And he actually, listen, it wasn't no mutual domestic violence situation where two people just needed to be apart from each other. It wasn't none of that. He did that. I'm talking about Russell Brand. He actually like is a pedophile. Like he is that. Russell Brand, well, what I'm saying is Russell Brand is an actor, he's a podcaster. Those were Russell Brand. That to me, that's Russell Brand. To me, he's a pedophile. If you go into what he's done and what he's admitted to, and to me, that equals that. But for him, after even those things, he hasn't lost a penny, a dime, a red cent, a red London cent, baby. He ain't lost none of them colonization tools, steals, metals, nothing. He been working and he's been on that podcast and he's been able to grift and he's been able to shout to the mountains about what he's done and continue on. And then he can do good things and say, look, I'm a good person. No, he was. I told you he's a grifter. Yes, he was. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. Yep. And now we look at Jonathan Majors, who just happened to just make the dumb decision as a Black man of, it wasn't of dating the white woman, but asking a white woman to be something that she could not to him. And understanding that and not understanding that in this toxic relationship that he has with this person, both of them, there should have been a separation, especially where he was going, where he was heading in his life. I don't care if the woman was Black, if it was like, to me, now he has to deal with that. And now he's brought in, after he recognized that white woman wasn't going to hold him down, he had brought in Megan Good, who we just saw go through a very public divorce with the pastor. And I remember. Yeah, Devon Franklin is his name. Dev- yeah. So, with that being said, we're watching her come back into the light, not for her work that she's done on the show Harlem, That's on Showtime, I believe, or HBO, one of those. I think it's on Showtime. The show Harlem, that is actually a top rated show. Um, or for the show that she has that she produced herself on, I think called A la Carte on I think it's called the network that it's on is All Black or something like that. That she produced a show. Nobody talking about her work there. This is how she's being presented back out to the world as Jonathan Majors Coretta Scott King. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I need that moment where Will Smith said, "Leave my wife's name out of your mouth." Like, we need that. We need that. You had the audio. I don't even think we played it, but play it for Ben. Play it for Ben's ear. That audio. David must have went out to go walk the dog. Okay, we're gonna move on to this story that I have because with Jonathan Majors, one of the features that I love about him, Katt Williams sat over there on Club Shay Shay in front of Shannon Sharp and said that Jonathan Majors only got his time cut down, his sentence reduced because of that black woman Megan Good, because he ain't good. He ain't even good looking himself. This is what Katt Williams said about Jonathan Majors. He said, not somebody with a big old nose and a small head. But my thing is, as he was saying that, he was pointing at Shannon Sharp. And I said, not him saying Shannon ugly too. It was just because Shannon is not only, to me, Shannon isn't civil rights features. Shannon goes way back into the motherland features, which I think is beautiful. He has a country accent, but if you did not know him, he could pass for being African. Like, I know we're all African, but he can pass for being like yesterday. His generation ain't too far removed. They was out there beyond. They were Shannon. Shannon over there. You was laughing a little too hard at Katt's show. He was talking about you. He was talking about you. Anywho, Katt Williams demolished, broke the internet because the internet belongs to him. Though it's no longer Michael Jackson's internet; it's Katt Williams' internet. And he sat on. I don't even know why we have this as B-roll, but I'm gonna just I don't because I feel like David said the show is over, and it's really 11:27, baby. It is. It is a. Where did he go? Anywho, Katt Williams. Katt damn Williams. He's he got on that couch and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Katt Williams has the power to do so. Who would have thunk it, right? I love Katt Williams and I think that he's amazing. He's actually the creator of the joke that Ben likes to talk about a lot, the Mountain of Caucasus or whatever. Yes, Katt Williams is the originator. You probably know him from Friday. You know him from his stand-ups where he plays the pimp persona, his beautiful hair. That's Katt Williams. It's now locked. He now rocks locks or whatever. But Steve Harvey has sat on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay couch. And as he promoted his Courvoisier, I want to say. Oh no, not Courvoisier, that's a brand. His cognac. Uh yeah, yeah, that's what they was drinking. And then he had Cedric the Entertainer, he had Steve Harvey originally on that couch. He had Ricky Smiley, and he also had, I think, another comedian from the groups from back in the day, the 90s, on that couch of Club Shay Shay. Katt Williams' name was dropped a few times. So he contacted Shannon Sharp himself about a week ago and stated, "Hey, I need to come there. We got things to talk about." Shannon pressed record and said, "Hey, Katt, nice to have you here." Katt said, "Now, why would Steve didn't even say hello? Now, why would you have somebody sit on this couch, Ricky Smiley?" He started with Ricky Smiley, and basically he came there to clear his name. And Ricky Smiley said some things that Katt said wasn't true about his character, literally the character that he played in the movie. I believe it was Friday, next Friday. And he's talked about how those comedians aren't on their level. But it also brought out some truths of comedians stealing each other's work, and also there can only be one in this space. I hate that America makes that for black people specifically. There can only be one of us in this space. We cannot work together. Yeah, like even in this space that we're doing, Ben, like that we can't really, they don't want us to really work together. So they make it so that this one black person or this one black show will give the algorithm to them, but we won't give it to all of you guys. So that's how it always is. And what they did was the hanging with Mr. Cooper. What's his name? Mark, I believe his name is Mark. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's his name, Mark Cooper. He had that show. I remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. He was the principal at the school. We remember that show. And then after that show died out, I believe what did we see? Steve Harvey. I've never seen Steve Harvey before that. Yeah, I did. No, I have, but he had that hairline. So when no, he had it. So I never knew it to be fake. I never knew him to be bald. I never knew it to be fake. So he was bald then? Oh, wow. See, I didn't know. I've always only known him with the hairline. So, oh, I wasn't thought of yet. Okay, see, they said when they got him that role, they got him that crispy hairline. And but basically, Mark was saying, like, dang, I thought we were all like, how you steal my material? And so Katt was bringing that out there. And so that was the whole thing. Katt was dropping, but he also was saying in that interview a lot of things that I think were, like he said, he'd been reading books and he was homeless when he was 13 and he comes from a religious family. Things that actually let you know a little bit about who he is and why he is. When you go online, he said that net worth isn't even my real net worth. I make so much money. And for these men to sit here and say that I'm worth nothing, like I'm just some comedian that doesn't have originality, to speak on my name like that. And I only show up on Netflix specials that I don't even take. I wouldn't even do if it wasn't a price point of my liking. He's like, none of y'all have specials. He showed a clip of Cedric the Entertainer stealing his joke, and it was. Do you remember that joke? Remember? Oh, damn. I don't. I can find it. I would say I want David to find it, but I don't know if David knows what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, no, there's an actual clip. There's an actual clip of Cedric the Entertainer, his joke being juxtaposed to Cat Williams. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. But it was a whole thing. I say that to say Cat Williams broke the internet, but he also gave us an insight into his actual life. Shannon Sharp, he did Shannon Sharp a big one. Shannon Sharp at that time had a high viewing at Steve Harvey with over a few million. And I think he had a couple more with just like 1 million, 2 million. That interview in one day was at like 16 mil. Now I think it's at like, I don't even know where it's at. I know. Okay? And I'm sure it's still growing. So this is what I'm telling you, he knew what he knew his power when he got there. And he told Shannon, we do. But the other ones were calling people out too. And yes, it got him high views. Shannon thought it was just gonna be like, dang, nobody's gonna watch us after this. Nobody's gonna come to the couch. Nobody's gonna watch. And he said, watch what this does for you. Watch what this does for you. He said, because and then he said, because the God that I serve wouldn't, I'm not a bad person, Shannon. The other people came here to destroy my name, and I'm just coming to clear it. Like, I said, "Oh my god, no, Ben, you have to watch it." And it caused so much of a to me, it did a favor not only for Shannon, is it a favor to those comedians because nobody, all these children who do not know who they are now know who they are because now they have joined the comedic conversation and now they're online, literally making live videos, talking to Katt, and everybody's going to visit their pages to see what they're talking about, who they are, what it. Katt did them a favor, as he did Shannon Sharp a favor. He mentioned names like Just Hilarious, new comics, Desi Banks, who he likes. He's watching. He's like, I'm always watching. He also mentioned something, Ben, which was very, very interesting. He said, I would go to shows. It could be shows with, he didn't want to say this. This is what Shannon said, did you help the Migos financially? And Katt, and mind you, that's just a random thing. I told you that. Would you ever? I don't know if Katt Williams and I would never put Katt Williams and the Migos together. I don't know where, like, no, not hanging out together. I never seen them. I don't know. I just wouldn't put them together. So Katt says I love how Katt answers the questions. He takes a brief moment to say, am I about to say something dumb? Am I about to expose something? Or how do I answer this question correctly? He always pauses and you can think, he just pauses. And then he says no. But then they go into the conversation of him going to places and seeing artists, comedians, people using their gift and being underpaid. And they're all popular. And he says he goes there and he sends women to go pay them. Then he gives the women money and he sends women to go pay the artists or whoever. And Dion Cole said that this happened to him. And so many other people who are celebrities went under Dion Cole's post and talked about how Katt Williams has helped them, like paid them their worth when he's gone to a show or something. He's been behind the scenes and he knows that they either weren't going to get paid, weren't going to get acknowledged, weren't. And Katt Williams, so that he doesn't get the props for it, will send a random woman to go pay them. And I'm like, if that's not doing God's work to me, he's where people are giving the 20% and things to the church, that's how he's tithing. That's how he's paying his tithes. Okay? Mhm. He did it. I watched it, yeah. And he talked about chicken war and chicken wings. And it made sense. Because he's like, how come we got a lot of thighs and no wings? What's going on? Oh yeah. R.I.P. Take off. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. As anything with black people together, and I hate this because we want to be together. We really want to work together. We actually do love each other. Black men love black women. Black women love black men, regardless of what online is trying to say. But what happens is they really make it hard for us to really be like, hey, yo, I'm gonna help you out in this sector. They're like, no, if you help this person out, we're gonna kill your channel. We're gonna kill it. It's like it's terrible. Only one or three comedians can thrive here. And in order for y'all to do so, y'all gotta form a group and leave the rest of them out. And what did we see? Three names that work together. Actually, we saw Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey work closely together in the Steve Harvey show. What was that show called? The Steve Harvey show. Yeah. No, Steve is hilarious. You know what? Before I get out of here, I want to show you a response that somebody did, and of course, it is a. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for you, David, before we get out of here because I don't want us to leave on this heavy note. But people said, how Steve Harvey would respond. Katt said something very special. He said, where these people are talking about me in comedy, I am the best to ever do it, and I put on the best to ever do it. I put people on that are funnier than me. That's the goal. I love that, Ben, because like I said, when we get into the space, we don't hear or see Katt Williams so much that they accuse him. We accused him, because that's what the world gave us, of being on drugs. That's why he was going to. He said anybody who knows him, all of his fans knew it was weed that he went in for, or holding a gun in the streets while he's walking his baby. He adopted, I think, 6 kids. That's crazy. He said, like, my life was in danger, but it was online and everybody was laughing about it. That's what he was saying. So you gotta watch the interview. But what my thing is, he talked about a lot of things on there. I think whatever he was gonna be asked, it was going to be like, it was going to be answered. And so I'm like, Shannon Sharp, I love him as a commentator and a journalist in the space of sports. But when we're talking about serious things, baby, I need you to ask more questions than so what's your love life looking like? And then stay right there. And then so you gonna get married? No, baby, we got a lot of things to ask. Listen, you were in jail a couple of times. What is the truth behind those arrests? Because a lot of people said you were on drugs. They said your teeth was gone. They said I need those answers, because he actually came out and answered the question himself. His teeth were knocked out. He was holding up his baby, and he had a chain, and the baby was playing with the chain. Baby chain. He started to let us know the chain was heavy. And it hit his teeth and knocked out his front teeth. And he said at that time they were filming. He was filming for, I think it was Next Friday, and they all stayed they were homeless. He said, I decided to be homeless because I knew I needed new teeth. And so I decided to be homeless, set my kids up. He said they had everybody up in the trailer, and we were living out of the trailer at the time. And we would go and be the first ones all the time on set, so that he can raise the money to get his teeth fixed. He told Shannon, we got the same teeth. I got my teeth fixed like you did. It was ridiculous, but I say all that to say, if you have not watched it, what I discussed is not even me giving y'all the story in its entirety. Not me blowing it for y'all. Literally, there's so many layers to that interview. It gives you it gives you education, it gives you life. It tells you why he is how he is, why he is who he is. I'm trying to find that video, y'all, because y'all would die once I get it for y'all. But why he is who he is. An interview is like it's Shannon Sharp's longest interview on there. It's Shannon Sharp's longest interview on there. I found the video, guys, and y'all. Mhm. Why didn't you watch it? I'm surprised. It ain't your time. I get it. You got things to do. You got better things to do with your life. I got it. I heard what you said. I heard you. I dropped it. Me too. I dropped it in the chat. Ben, you're gonna laugh about this. I hope you do, because I know that Steve Harvey pronounces his W's like you do. So yeah, you guys are similar. Oh, that was hilarious. And I want that. So David, I dropped it in our text message chat if you're looking for it. But anywho, people are saying that Katt should have never came out and said a thing. But I feel like sometimes you got to come and defend your name. He said to Shannon, because Shannon was like, why are you talking about these men? He's like, you have an alliance to I forgot what he said to him, but it was so insulting. You have why you coming for them? Why you what? Yeah, she said, yeah. Shannon said it. Why you coming for them? Like, like, what's going on? What's going on? A cat. And he's like, I like him. He's like, yeah, I don't know what you have an alliance to liars, and I don't. He's like, and I don't know. I don't like that for you. That's what he told him. Why do you have an alliance to people who aren't good? Um, but Katt was just giving it straight, no chaser. And I think that a lot of us can use a moment one day and sit down, not to really empty. He emptied the clip of truths, but in a manner where it's like, this is my truth, and here are examples, but here's what I'm doing with my life, and here's where you can find me, because the work doesn't stop. No matter how many times people spit on my name, or and I haven't come out and said anything about it, when I could have rolled that lady, that Wanda, at the radio station, I could have really drilled her to pieces. But I did respectfully so, because she is a woman. And he said, and she is overweight. And her nails do look terrible. Like, he was going in. He said that I don't know if it was in Atlanta though, but he said that she tried to sick an audience on him. And the audience was like, we're not going to go against Katt because you said so. You were wrong. Yeah. Basically the interview was to be talking about his work, and she got on there to talk about his arrest. And remember, he said, she's called him like a felon. He's like, I'm not. I got off on every case that I've been on. I've been arrested 13 times or whatever. And I walked out in like the next 3 days, or like, that's how he was talking to her. Um, Maybe it is. I don't know, but it was with a woman. Yeah. So anyway, here would be the response. Here would be the response to this is going to be the response allegedly to how Steve Harvey would respond, and this is a comedic relief. So let's take a listen. It's the yeah. No, it's replaying now, but that was so funny. Where? So what? Who are we? It's everybody asking when, where, why I got the win. I was like, it's the laugh too. Yeah, yeah. Why? And then he put a little brush cut on top of his mustache. Godfrey. So let me tell you guys a quick story about this man. When I lived in New York, I rode on the 3 train, sometimes the 2. The doors opened on the 3 train, and I looked up, and it was Godfrey, a beautiful black man. And we looked at each other for a while. He smiled at me. I smiled back at him. He got off the train, and he stood for his next stop, and we just watched each other through the window. And I smiled and I said, I'm never going to see him again. But that was that comedian, man. That is a true story. Swear to God, that happened. But he's hilarious. But he's fine. He's fine too. Look, he fine too. See, I got a problem. Who I think is fine. You just if you funny, you fine. I said, Katt Williams. Has Katt Williams always been this fine? See, this one I started saying. Katt always had a little. He always been this handsome. I don't know. See, I got a problem. Somebody that makes me laugh now, I'm like, damn, he fine. That's how you know I'm getting older. You ain't really got to be fine to me. Everybody, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, but anyways, this is hilarious. I think that I think that he played like I want to see Steve Harvey's response. We're probably not going to get one because Steve Harvey's going to say, we don't need to enter the chat because look where I am with my life. You know, oh, he also, Cat Williams came for Steve Harvey's wife. He said, how this man that was just telling us in the 90s that the woman he got, his wife, was the reason he does what he does, changed his whole story years later with a new woman and says that this is the reason why he does what he is, who he is, and what he does in his lifetime with comedy. He's like, y'all want us to sit here and respect wives you don't even respect. Yeah, but you trying to respect this other woman and the way you got her one right. Still, oh, Jonathan Majors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, stop disrespecting black women and expecting them to hold you down like that. That's basically what Kat was saying. That black woman held you down. I'm not saying that Marjorie Harvey is not black, but I'm saying you knew what it was. I'm People get divorced every day. Put some respect on the person that you were with's name, though. Don't act like there wasn't somebody there rocking with you. When I think of Kevin Hart, was who also got name dropped, and it's been hell for him since. Every time you go to his comment section, Man's just dropped a new movie, and in this comment section, it still got Cat Williams in it, just all through it. And Cat and Kevin Hart actually responded to Cat, and it wasn't good for him. But I said to say, when I think of people like even Kevin Hart, we know Tori, who was his who was his ex-wife. Tori, who was holding it down for him and throughout his career, who actually was the one that was supposed to be the comedian, and he ended up being the comedian, and that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, she's a comedian. And he ended up, becoming the bigger comedian. She held it down for him. Had his first two babies, all of it. Went to tours with them. They rocked all the way through, and then he met another woman and called that woman his rib, his life, the hearts this, the hearts that, all of that, right? And then cheated on her publicly. But that's his rib. Okay? Treat these black women with respect so that the world can respect them as well. Guess who's going on? Hmm? Oh, yes, he did. He did. Oh, we seen Tashara in the list though. Hey, that's Tashara Parker, all right. I found her and she looked damn good, Ben. Wow. 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 Her man fine too. All right. Hey, I'm out of here. Tashara, bigs up to that's her. Hey, y'all. This lady is bad. Jesus. Hey, yo, I'm about to follow her right now. Everybody go follow Tashara and say that Like It or Not sent you. We're at the end of the show. We found out who that beautiful black woman was. Hey, shout out to all beautiful black people in black media, just like me and Benjamin P. Dixon. Listen, if you are not already a patron, patreon.com/ like it or not, patreon.com/ like it or not. It's 2024 and we need your help. Crowdfunding is the way to go. Go ahead, Ben. Crowdfunding is the way to go. We need your help. Your support has gotten us here thus far. We pay for this programming out of pocket, but listen, we are trying not to miss a show. We want to be with you here with you every Saturday. I love you guys so much. Ben, what do you have to add to it? Mhm. Mm. I love that. There was one on mine, and I want to get to it, but I don't even know how to get to it. Um, oh, perfect. Okay, good. See, I ain't gotta do no work. Thank you, Jesus. I ain't gonna do no work. Listen, guys, we're at the end of the show. Thank you so much for calling out our superstars because those are our superstars. I'm talking about everybody in the comment section, everybody who likes, everybody who comments, everybody who supports, everybody who shares. You guys are our superstars. Okay. Hey, we'll be back next Saturday. Ben has his own stuff that I watch and I see you dropping. And so listen, we're doing our thing and we need your support. Okay. So yeah. We're gonna keep doing it. And I know that you're dropping something. When you drop stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, he been working on that. Oh yeah, he was working on that. Yeah. I can tell. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. But guys, listen, so much stuff to come up. Keep following the channel, keep following our pages to see what we're doing individually and together. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you next Saturday right here on Like It or Not. Love you.
Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show.